fairly different from now on, likely. Fairly different from now on, if not very, but this is going to be very different, I think, in terms of the two exercises I'm going to do in this video. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a second and third set because I did one set already. I don't know if I'll be able to do a second and third set, but definitely, well, I'll do a second set because I did one already. I don't know if I'll be able to do a third set because it feels so different. So this is a dumbbell deadlift. And if I'm not mistaken, this is 360 pounds, which is not my max, but doing it with dumbbells is a completely different bit of crazy compared to a bar. It feels different, especially having these 35-pound plates on, which makes it harder because it just feels like it's messing up me up with the plate being so damn big compared to if I had 425s, which is what my original plan was. So I might do that next time. Put 425s on so that the plate isn't as big and as annoying, if at all, trying to pick it up. So I might go back to my original plan to do 425s, which would only be 400, but still. Have you ever tried dumbbell deadlifts? Feels a lot different doing them with dumbbells. Yeah, it feels a lot different doing them with dumbbells. I think I've done it before or something like it last year or the year before. So feels different on my hands. Feels different on my hands. Feels different moving around. But as you can see, I can still do it. That is the second set. I didn't record the first. See if I can do one more. And then after that, I'm going to move into dumbbell rows. And I think my plan was to try to do 3 sets of 5 with 130 pounds or something real close to it. See if I can do at least 3, but I want to see if I can do 5. I don't remember if I've ever done 3 sets of 5 with 130 pounds for dumbbells, but if I can complete this set of deadlifts and then get into my rows, dumbbell rows, and probably sleep better than I have been. I've been sleeping pretty good lately. see if I sleep that much better by adding this back into, because I haven't done deadlifts. I don't even remember how long it's been since I've done deadlifts. Probably, yeah, I don't even know. Probably since like April, due to having certain issues to where I sold some equipment. So I sold my bar early last year, maybe middle last year. And then the power rack, if you guys have seen some of my videos where I had a black and orange power rack, obviously that's gone. And I'm gonna try to wait until I move. Hopefully I'm blessed to move into a townhome and get a power rack. If I have a garage or a basement, if not both. So, and then put the power rack in there. So, in terms of you seeing it in the building that I live in. So let me see. This will be the first time, because I used to only do 2 sets. So this will be the first time doing 3 sets of 4. 5 was my goal. I could probably do 5, but it feels so damn different doing it on dumbbells compared to a barbell. So I think I'll just stick with 4. Actually, that might have been my plan. I don't remember. So 3 sets of 4, even though I didn't show you the first one because I recorded it and put that on shorts. Definitely feels weird though. And I gotta try harder not to slam on my damn foot. Alright. So that is it for deadlifts for today. So now those out the way. Now relax for a bit. And now see if I can do 3 sets of 4 or 5. Hopefully more than 3 for dumbbell rows. What are you barking at, buddy? Okay. Alright, start on my left side. Move these over, start on the left side. So with those, anytime you see anyone, specifically me, doing rows, whether it's dumbbell or barbell, hopefully you don't see the person, let me see if, so there shouldn't be a yanking, because if you yank it, like a lot of people probably do it a lot more, so if you're doing all this extra twisting and momentum, I don't believe that you're working your back the way that you should be. And if the goal is to actually do it compared to making it seem like you did it, with this being 130, but to do it compared to making it seem like you did it, actually work the muscle that hopefully you're trying to work. If you don't really care, go for it, I guess. But for those of us that actually want to work the muscle, actually have the ability to move the load, no. And again, we many of us have ways and reasons to why we do what we do, but I believe in being able to move the weight, and if you can't, lower it to a certain degree, if not a lot. Some people try to lift heavier than they can, which is understandable wanting to, but if you can't, just keep practicing until you get to a certain number. Because when I was growing up, I didn't have dumbbells like these to where I could put a heavyish load on to do. Somebody brought in 120-pound dumbbells at the gym that I used to go to from home, and he wanted to sell them, but it seems like nobody could afford them or whatever, so I guess he just said forget it, and then he decided to leave them. So I finally had 120s to use for different things. I think they might still be there, as long as nobody took it upon themselves to steal them. But for those of us that can do 120, it's like, now what? So it wasn't until somebody told me about these dumbbells, so I was finally able to, start moving certain loads. So if you see, and again, it's different for each person, how slow I'm going, to where I'm not going rep after rep. For those of us that are not on steroids, and for those of us that don't use momentum, and there could be possibility that people can increase their size when they're doing the reps wrong for what many of us consider to be wrong. But again, it's just a different idea that each of us have in terms of how and why to do stuff. And for me, I'd rather slow it down. That's why I'm not like out of breath and stuff like that, even though it kind of sounds like it, because there's something in one of my left nostril and it makes it feel weird to breathe, and there's a weird sound sometimes depending on the season. Actually, I don't hear it as much now, so maybe I'll breathe through my nose now. So compared to breathing through my mouth. But yeah, just not rushing. One, not focusing on trying to impress others, because people don't care as much as you might think when you're doing certain things. Two, you're less likely to get hurt, and you don't have to deal with the embarrassment of if certain things happen and people thinking that you're really strong and they ask you to do something, ask you to help with something, and you spend a certain amount of time basically lying to people, making it seem like you were really strong. Now all of a sudden they need you to help them with something, if not do it for them, and you can't do it. And now you just embarrass yourself in front of however many people, having them think that you're capable of doing something that you can't do. Depending on what some of you have going on, if you need help or want help, especially if you're new to watching any of my videos, I'm the owner and trainer of Fuller Fitness, which I think I told you in the beginning, and an online personal trainer. And for those who need or want help on their journey to be stronger, whether it's, it's not as impressive, maybe it is more impressive with the dumbbells, but this time I only did, compared to maybe next time, I only did 360 total for the first time. And if I did do it before, I did it like 2 years ago, but I think that was RDL compared to actual deadlift. But if you need or want help on your journey to increase your strength and do it without hurting yourself, being able to get stronger to a certain degree, depending on what stage you're in now, almost regardless of what stage you're in now and where you're trying to get to. Hopefully you give this video a like, you subscribe so you can see the next ones, and share it with people who might like it or need the information that I'm sharing in this one. This is the third set. So yeah, hopefully you like the video. Hopefully you subscribe to the channel, and hopefully share it with people who might actually be interested in watching. I love these so much, for those who might not have seen my videos before, is I love having the possibility and probability, since I've been doing it for decades, to have equal strength and equal balance on both sides. So I don't want to be stronger on the left or the right if I don't have to be. Why not get yourself to where you have equal strength if you can. 3 sets of 5, and the interesting thing about that is I'm a 39-year-old vegan. I'll be vegan soon, or 5 years, going on 5 years next month. And to not be skinny, to not be weak, physically, mentally, or emotionally, and doing certain things for the first time. So, I was hoping to be very strong, whatever that might be for me, but wasn't really sure what the possibilities were due to the gym that I went to. The heaviest dumbbell was 100 pounds for the most part. Then somebody left their 120s. And then for those of us who did that, the 120s, it's like, what next? So, again, depending on what stage you're in now, especially if you're watching a video like this, if you get certain dumbbells, then you'll be able to put a certain amount of weight on with high hopes you are mentally, physically, and emotionally ready for it, and you're constantly practicing. Again, I'm 39 years old and I've been working out for decades, so it's not like I just woke up and started doing this. Keep practicing. Hopefully it's fun. And then even if it's not fun, the fact that you hopefully have a certain goal, keep practicing. And hopefully you get to that number with high hopes you are realistic to whatever number that you're trying to get to. Realistic in whatever number you're trying to get to. Do it without hurting yourself. Do it without hurting anybody else. And don't rush the process. We have no idea how long we'll be alive or not, depending on how young you are, how old some of us are. But keep practicing, and hopefully you get to a certain number within a certain period of time without hurting yourself, without hurting others, and hopefully being able to do it without taking stuff that your body doesn't need. Whether you're trying to be impressive, make a football team, Olympic team, weightlifting team, or just doing it and hoping for certain things. Hopefully you're able to, I made the decision probably before I was a teenager to not smoke, not drink, and not take drugs. And here I am at 39. The only thing that changed is that I do drink. So, but I don't get drunk. I don't drink as much as possible. But not doing drugs, especially steroids or anything like it. And it took longer to get to some of these numbers. But that's more because of not having dumbbells to gradually get to a certain point. Obviously at 39, I obviously did it over the last 3 years, 3 to 6 years, benching and rowing and doing certain numbers. And yes, I would have liked to have done it sooner, but I don't think there was anything I did wrong to where I didn't do it sooner. So again, for you, depending on your situation, whatever your current situation is, keep practicing, and hopefully either you buy some dumbbells, because if you're going to a certain gym, they probably only have 100, unless you're at Planet Fitness and they only go to 75. So getting your own dumbbells, your own weight plates, being able to put a certain amount of weight on with high hopes you're ready for it. And then even if you're not necessarily ready for it, trying it, depending on what the number you're trying to do. Hopefully have a spotter, and then if you don't have a spotter, not having a crazy idea to try to move a certain load yet. You know, and just like I said, just focus on gradually increasing. You know, if one of my brodies watches this, I told him, you know, whenever I, you know, would do a certain load and I would just call out a certain number. And he was like, you just think of random numbers and try to do it or whatever. Like, yeah, like, because sometimes I'll go up, you know, 2.5 pound. Let me see where I got my 1 pound plate on here, 1 pound micro weights. So if you add these micro weights on, what is this, 0.75. So what's that, 1.50, 1.50. If you put these on, that's not a lot of weight, but some people can't do that, you know. These are 0.25, less than a pound. Some people might not be able to do that. I think I got some green ones somewhere, but I don't know where they are. So the green ones are 0.50, wherever the heck those are. But I got the 1 pound plates on here. So the dumbbells are 8 pounds by themselves. Then I put the 2 1 pound plates of micro weights on. That's 10 plus the 120 that I put on. So focus less on being popular, less on going viral, and more on doing stuff that'll work. Because there are people like myself and others who will appreciate, you know, if you have your own channel, and appreciate your progress more if we believe you're doing it without steroids and without TRT and whatever other stuff that people are taking to try to get themselves stronger, that I don't think the body needs, especially long term. So yeah, you know, per usual, I'm talking more than I wanted to, but again, as someone who cares, even though I haven't met you, someone who cares and want to make sure you do certain things like this without hurting yourself or anybody else, I end up talking more than I planned. But hopefully you understand and appreciate it, compared to others. Like, yeah, you know, do this and try this, and you know, and then you hurt yourself, and it's like, oh, you just weren't strong enough, and stupid shit like that that people did when I was growing up. Thankfully, I didn't get hurt. I did get hurt a few times, but it wasn't because of anybody else. It was just my own stuff. But I think I only got hurt maybe 3 times that I can remember. And I believe every time it was my fault, and it wasn't necessary. It was in my 30s, so that's another thing. I was in my 30s. One time, with the job I had, you know, rushing here to try to get my workout in, and then try to get other stuff done before, you know, going to bed, walking my mother's dog, and trying to get my meals in, and all this other stuff. So now that my schedule isn't like that, I'm less likely to get hurt, you know, rushing because of my schedule, you know. So you know, again, hopefully for you, now that you know that, you know, someone like me who's lifted certain numbers, depending on how many of my videos you've seen, I got hurt 3 times. The one time was, I think the first time I chest pressed 160, 158, but you round up, you get 160, but 158, that's going on 3 years ago, around this time, a year, and I hurt my left elbow. So I did fine when I did the first set. And when you lift a certain load, that doesn't necessarily mean you can do a second set. When I went to do that second set, I heard my elbow make some sounds I've never heard before from a human body compared to a machine. And then I felt some stuff I should never feel, and hopefully never feel again. I have felt it again before. So again, it's just getting very familiar with your body, regardless of what your current age is, and hopefully, I was at the gym when I chest pressed 158, and I wanted a spotter, but I wasn't sure who to ask. But again, I did the first set, so it's just like hopefully I can do a second one, especially so I can try to record it. But like I said, I heard and felt some stuff in my left elbow, but at this point, years later, almost 3 years later, I've done stuff to where I believe my elbow is a lot stronger, and that should be less likely to happen. So do what works for you. Hopefully you like the video. Hopefully you subscribe, like the video, share it with people who might be interested in what I'm saying, even though I, talk too much usually. But as far as the workout is concerned. And then if you're interested in online personal training, send me a direct message on Instagram at FullerFitnessBNY. I'll put that information at the bottom of the video. Hopefully you liked it. This is Martone, owner and trainer of Fuller Fitness. Take care.